or NHL or something stupid, or even like Mario, and
Or
get
even pulling like shotgun for a car, like
Yep.
get to get the front seat, you know.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
Personality
like
that's a
trait.
yeah,
competition as well.
something as stupid as that is competitive. I mean, put something that's extremely competitive in front of them, and hopefully they'll grab onto it like everybody here has. I mean, it doesn't have to be just Halo. I mean, it could be other games, but I'm just saying like you want to be able to bring your friends into that kind of atmosphere because, I mean, I think we're all we all can say that once you get brought into that atmosphere, it's kind of hard to leave. I mean, you kind of get hooked on it.
Yeah,
It's
That goes a long
addicting.
way.
yeah, especially with the
Yeah, people
community
you
and all
meet.
the people you meet. Yeah, it's just you find a lot of the people that have this common interest of whatever it is, you know. And I feel like that's how it is with anything in life. You know, if you enjoy going out and drinking, you're gonna go out and drink and find people with this, similar interests and just guys you like hanging out with. You know, Mr. X over here probably spent a couple fun nights and met a couple of people, I'm sure. And
I
I'm
thought,
sure I've done the
I've,
same.
yeah, I've had some good times. Leave it at that. My thing was, I was kind of scared to go to my first MLG event, to be honest, because I was playing competitive online for like years since Xbox One, and then I just got kind of thrown into this like MLG scene. I really didn't know didn't even know what MLG was about, to be honest. And I was kind of scared to see like what kind of like people like would go to like because when I tell my friends or people I know casually like, I used to like travel the country, play video games at tournaments. They were like, like what? Like I don't get it. Which is like that's another problem I think too is like people like the general population doesn't understand on what kind of scale this is being done.
Like it's
Yeah,
getting
and
better. The recognition is getting better, but I keep going,
Right.
Ghost.
And then I felt like also like back in 2006 and 7 when we had the USA coming out on Saturday mornings and you had G4 on on the reruns and all that kind of stuff. I feel like that also instilled a lot of people to get into the competitive gaming community that MLG provided. I have a ton of the up and coming Reach players, and a lot of these new age pros come up to me and be like, yeah, dude, like even people on Classic or people on Warriors or just other teams have always come up to me and been like, yeah, I started out watching you. It's my Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. and like that's crazy to me because now I'm competing at these guys, but the reason they got in is because it got on that mass media level of appeal. So
I didn't watch that
definitely
show because I
supporting
cut
it.
the commercial and I looked awful in the commercial.
No.
I think that basically brings us into our next topic, though, because we were talking about NJ Halo. That's good. That's great. And there's another tournament starting up. Calvin, you want to take it away since it's your hometown or your home state?
Well, yeah, pretty much. But I want to go ahead and say that I live in North Carolina, and I am debating, like, even though NJ Halo is a far way away, I might go. So, if you can go, you should try to make it. If you can afford it and all that stuff, don't do it. If you can't afford it, but if you can and you can make it out, go. It should be a good time. So, uh,
I
but
should go get a
anyway.
copy of Reach. I should go.
Right after this episode's over. Go for it.
So anyway, I'm going to talk about our next topic here. It's another tournament. Basically, I don't think a lot of people have heard about it. We're going to talk about a thing that's happening in my hometown. It's called the Carolina Game Summit. Pretty much what it is it's a gaming expo that has little mini tournaments that pretty much, all of them have always gotten full. This is going to be its seventh year running this year. It's had over 1,000 people go to this local community college and participate in these games. Basically, I'm going to run through the list and tell y'all what they are. We got a Gears of War 3 4v4, Tekken 6, Street Fighter 4, Dance Central 2. There you go, awkward.
I'm doing that.
Super Smash Brothers
Oh,
Brawl, StarCraft 2, Madden 2012, Call of Duty 4v4, Call of Duty Quick Scoping FFA, NBA.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
what?
What?
I didn't see that.
Huh?
That's
It's
sick.
a free for
I
all
know
with
somebody
just
else called
snipers.
that.
Yeah, Quick Scoping FFA for
Yeah, it's like a whole
Call of
different.
Duty.
Yeah, I know it's
Yeah,
it's kind of a
bro.
whole different category.
Oh, you're gonna have to police that so much. That's just a fail.
Right? How do you?
I don't know, man. Go.
It's like a special, though.
Like, yeah, I guess it's like a special thing. I'll put the website in the chat as soon as I'm done reading off the games, and y'all go check it out. Uh, NBA 2K12, Yu-Gi-Oh cards for all you Yu-Gi-Oh players out there. Get your deck, go on out there. Magic the Gathering card game. Um,
All these wizard games, man.
Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Oh, that's a good
Mortal
game.
Kombat, and of course, Halo Reach, FFA, and a 4v4. So that's the tournaments that they're going to be holding this year. I mean, I'm pretty sure that each bracket holds about 32 teams or 32 individual players. So it's definitely a big turnout. Like, especially, holding to a rural place in North Carolina. People have came from this one year. The director was telling me when I was running its Halo tournament, was telling me that somebody bought a ticket out from Arizona and actually showed up to the event. And, like, the prize money and all that stuff is, zero. Like, they hand out sponsored giveaways and stuff, but, like, they're sponsored by Balls, Monster Energy drink, just all these different kinds of sponsors. And also the thing that goes with it is, since it's held at a community college, you can learn while you're there participating, go downstairs and go to different booths and stuff and find out how to make video games or become a video game tester through college. And
Isn't it on the weekend though?
Say what?
Isn't it on the weekend though?
Yes, it is. It's on a weekend.
Then how are they gonna learn if there isn't any classes?
Dude, people learn on the weekends now, man. You can learn anytime you want.
It's like not like a class. You
Oh,
go
Google.
get pamphlets so you can sign up for classes the next semester or something, or try to get into it. We had people from Gears of War come down from Epic Games to talk about their game. There's all kinds of guest speakers and everything that goes on. So about, like I said, over 1,000 people have showed up every year, and it's definitely going to be exciting this year, I think, for tournaments and learning how to game. So but basically, like I said, the more Halo tournaments that we have, I think the better it will be, for Halo being built back up. And, this is, one of the things that, people are doing. So I basically want to give a shout out to anybody that's holding a tournament /LAN. We're coming out with a new segment starting next, our next show. If you have a LAN or a tournament that you're running for your store or anything, give us, shoot us a line at our Twitter and we'll plug it into the show, just like we did for NJ Halo and the Carolina Game Summit. So, pretty much, like, I'm going to ask y'all guys, what are you, hearing about Carolina Game Summit the first time? What do you guys think of that? Let's start off with Spinner.
Well, I mean, besides the quick scoping tournament or FFA, I think it's a great idea. It gets a lot of different gamers in the same area because, possibly people that play Magic cards see Halo and they, then in turn want to start playing Halo. Or maybe kids come out and, check out Halo and they realize StarCraft is the sickest thing in the world. Either way, it gets a lot of people in the same room that like doing, a lot of the same things. And hopefully, a lot of those communities can, kind of play side by side and help each other grow at the same time. I mean, not that StarCraft needs it, but just in general, it's a good thing for a lot of local people. And if people fly out there, then that's crazy, but it's awesome. So any local tournament is fun. So it's a good thing.
Ghost, what do you think?
I mean, I think that it's just a great idea. I mean, like, especially with the Epic game developers coming down, I feel like those guys are what a game developer should be. What kind of etiquette they should have. They make sure that they can stop out. I know they're going to Hype the Station, which is a Gears of War tournament at New Jersey, and I feel like that they really keep in touch with the competitive gamer side, and by doing that, it enables them to make the best games, the best game types, all that kind of stuff. And I feel like, if more game developers did that, whether it was Call of Duty and they could talk to Hastro and any other players like that, and Battlefield, EA games, that'd be awesome if they could do something. And really, you look at StarCraft, they have the ability to have servers that Blizzard can take in all the numbers and the statistics to figure out what race they need in there, what item or not, excuse me, not what item, but what type of unit they need in there, and really how to make the game the most competitive and fair as possible. And with something like Gears, it's really hard to get the numbers down like that. You need to have a competitive player's approach to it. Whether it's someone who made something like Quake, they are unbelievably talented, and something like Halo 1, unbelievably talented with recognizing how to make a competitive based game where it's movement matters and smarts matter and skill matters, and everything, plays a significant role to have the common goal of winning. And I feel like when these game developers come down there, that's really what is gonna make these games, exposed. And having somewhere in North Carolina where it's, next to a headquarters such as Epic Games, that's one of the biggest deals. And I feel like any players should go down and meet these guys and just let them, know what they have to say about their games and whether they like them. They want to hear your support. That's the reason they're traveling. So I feel like that's an awesome opportunity that is really rare in the gaming world. So, but besides that, it's just a great opportunity in general to have as many locals as you can, getting people involved and really getting noticed throughout the entire United States of America.
All
That
right.
was a mouthful.
Yeah. Mr. X, for somebody, like I've been saying all shows, been looking from the outside in, how does, the Carolina Game Summit should be like the place for you to go? I mean, you could go check out Gears of War, Halo, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, whatever the case may be, So, what do you think, the people at Carolina Game Summit are trying to run here? Like, what do you think about that?
I think what they're trying to run, I think that should be kind of the next step that MLG should take. I think the more games you bring in, the better off you are, because I mean, somebody like me who is a Rainbow, Gears, Unreal, Quake guy, like I got interested in Halo now. Like I'm here talking about Halo, like, you know? So I think if you bring more people around all the different types of games, I think that definitely helps all the communities grow. Because I mean, Ghost, you got involved with Gears too. Like it just doesn't work one way; it works both. And then another thing you were touching on was that the game developers being involved. I think that's a cool thing, because I mean, we really can only do so much with the set at home and whatnot. That we need them to take the next step with basically changing the internals of it.
Definitely.
And I heard you mentioned EA and Battlefield, and I know a few of the people over at EA, and when you talk about EA, they're such a big company. You're like, oh, they don't care, like whatever.
Yeah.
But like every time I email them, like they respond back like instantly, like they're perfect.
Awesome.
With that type of stuff. Like
That's awesome. Yeah.
and I mean, they're changing stuff with Battlefield to make it better by the day. So
Well, that's huge. And like I remember back in, I want to say it was 2006 or 7 at the championships, we had the Bungie developers come out who made Halo 2, and we had about 9 guys, and they introduced us to the entire pro player meeting. And I remember Karma raising his hand, after the first guy introduced him, he's like, hey, did you make Halo 1? And the guy's like, no, actually, I didn't. But this guy next to me, he gets up and introduces himself, like, no, I made Halo 1. And Ben starts clapping, and everyone else freaking starts clapping. It's like, we're clapping because we're like, we want you guys to realize that we can recognize, your best game. We like, you guys are all here. We want to give you input, but at the same time that, like you guys said in the beginning, they're really just gearing towards the casual gamer approach. You look at something like World of Warcraft that can have the competitive side on top of the casual side, and people really just losing their lives in there. I mean, at one point it had somewhere around 13 million plus subscribers a month, which is insane, and I feel like after that success and that whole monthly subscription and really just the amount of money that other game developers saw Blizzard bringing in, I feel like it really inclined them to start start getting a broader appeal to the masses. And as bad as it is for like an FBS or something, it's really